Welcome back to Deep Soul Healing. In the last episode, we explored the shadow self, the hidden parts of us that, when integrated, expand our wholeness. Today, we're moving into one of the most powerful and challenging aspects of the psyche, trauma cycles. Trauma doesn't just live in the past. It echoes through the present. It shapes how we think, feel, relate, and even how we perceive what's possible for us. But the good news is, trauma cycles can be broken. Healing is possible. A trauma cycle begins when something overwhelming happens, an event, a relationship, or even repeated small moments that our nervous system couldn't fully process. Instead of being able to fight or flee, the body and psyche store the survival responses. We carry the imprint of that experience forward. This is why trauma is not just about what happened. It's about how our system adapted and continues to adapt even after the event is over. Psychologically, trauma often shows up as repeating patterns. Maybe you find yourself drawn to the same unhealthy relationship dynamics. Maybe you sabotage yourself whenever success feels close. Maybe you live in hypervigilance, always waiting for something to go wrong. These are not signs of weakness. These are signs of the body and mind doing what they learned to do in order to survive. But survival mode is not the same as living. Breaking trauma cycles means giving your nervous system new experiences of safety, stability, and self-trust. From a spiritual perspective, trauma can veil us from our essence, but it cannot destroy it. The soul remains whole. Healing is the process of remembering that wholeness, even when our body and psyche have forgotten it. Every trauma cycle that you interrupt, every pattern you rewrite, is an act of liberation, not only for yourself, but for the generations before and after you. Healing ripples through the lineage. If you recognize a trauma pattern in your own life, I invite you to bring awareness without judgment. You might ask yourself, when did I first learn this pattern? What need was I trying to meet by repeating it? What new way of responding might bring me closer to safety and wholeness? Sometimes that new response looks like setting a boundary. Sometimes it looks like allowing support. Sometimes it looks like slowing down when everything in you wants to rush. Each small act of choosing differently sends a new signal to your nervous system. It is safe to live differently now. Trauma cycles can feel unbreakable, but they are not. With compassion, patience, and support, we can interrupt the old loops and step into a new story. Remember, healing is not about erasing the past. It's about reclaiming your present and your future. In our next and final episode of this series, we'll explore what it means to move from survival mode into true soul alignment, living not just from old wounds, but from your deepest truth. Until then, be gentle with yourself. You are not your trauma. You are the soul that survived it and the soul that is ready to thrive.